This is a Harper Guys production.
The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
You know, but good luck arguing that in court. Let me get down to brass tacks.
Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. How much for the ape?
Jack, let's just cut the crap and get down to brass tacks here.
Are you hating on Neil Diamond?
Holy fuck Neil Diamond.
Our dream of deathmatch is going to come to fruition, and my golden ticket is going to pay off. Hoo-ah! Don't you fucking hoo-ah me, motherfucker!
I want the ability to time travel.
Dumb. This is stupid. Welcome to the Hopper, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake. With me, as always, my co-host, Adam.
That's right!
Coming at you for episode number
94.
94. 6 more to the century mark.
Century mark. Can you remember 1994? What you were doing?
Yes, I can remember a lot about 1994, actually.
Really?
Yes. It was the second half of my 8th grade year and the first half of my freshman year. So I have that scorched into my memory. I can probably throw 50 stories at you from that particular year in my life.
Right on. All right. PSA time.
PSA.
As I cut him off on story time.
I'm not telling a story. I was fucking waiting on you, man.
Episode 1994. Not really. 94. Visit us at theharperguys.com. Once there, you can find our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube links, which we are not keeping up on any of that. You can also find us everywhere podcasts are found. Go to our YouTube channel right now and subscribe. Or fucking don't. We don't care.
Right. If you're along for the ride, enjoy. And,
yes.
And our unofficial...
There's no rules.
Right. Unofficial sponsor tonight, Eagle Rare.
I rarely drink Eagle.
It's one of the most delicious bourbons on earth. I was just jokingly telling Adam before the show that it is the Bud Light of bourbons and that it has drinkability. So there are other ones that also fall in that category. I'm not saying anybody fucking doesn't. I'm just saying for me, it's amazing at $30 a bottle. So good times to be had there. So PSA's done. We're here. What are we starting with?
We ran out of music.
We ran out of music?
It stopped. Oh no.
Adam's breaking shit. You can tell he's a little out of practice, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
As if any ladies actually listen to this show.
we had a moment there.
Yeah.
We're going to put that back where it goes.
There you go. Well done.
So that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
My vicious karate chop almost broke the cup.
Okay.
It's been a little while since we recorded. I don't know how long it's been.
I think it's been a month.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're going
to
try to get this a little bit more repetitive. But the thing that's been bothering me and it's been on my mind a little bit is how our country has changed in the last 60 years. And I know you might be thinking about, why do you care how the country's changed in the last 60 years? But when you really think about it, how when we were kids, there was a lot of mom and pop shops still around. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how in my mind, maybe it was from a kid's view or a young teenager's view, were always the best places to go. The pet stores, the 5 and dime stores,
sure.
Even the gas stations. You could go in there with 50 cents and buy some candy and a fucking carton of milk. You know, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I could get a thing of lemon heads for a quarter and a small chocolate milk for a quarter. You can't do that shit anymore.
Did you just say you ate chocolate milk with lemon head? I mean, you ate lemon heads with chocolate milk?
Probably.
What the fuck, dude?
Why not?
That's why everything's gone to hell in the last 60 years, because people did shit like that.
No, but my point is, it was simpler. It wasn't all about. It just everything has changed, and I know I've talked about it on the show before, but like I can remember my mom saying they bought their house for $27,000.
Sure.
In a very nice neighborhood in Wadsworth, Ohio. Now that thing is probably $150,000.
I'm gonna say it's a multiple of at least 6.
And they had, but the point is, them two working. She worked half of that time. They had the house, and they had it paid off rather quickly. It's so much more difficult to do that nowadays.
Well, sure.
It's not the same.
But we have more things to pay for now than they had back then.
Yeah, but true. But you could have had a lot of things to pay for. It was all dependent on what you wanted to do. But where I'm going with this is it's corporate America, I believe, is ruining the fabric of our country. When I say that is like big business is booming. Big business and corporate America is in control.
Sure.
And it's hard if you have a mom and pop shop, you're probably not making a whole lot of money.
Probably not.
And you're doing it because maybe I don't know. I just think that it's changed enough that I think it's time to kind of I don't know how you stop it. I don't know how you stop big business from taking over, and it's the laws that are in place. It's all this other stuff. It's the loopholes for the bigger business. It's just frustrating. And where I'm headed at. Do you know that U.S. citizens pay more? This is throughout the world. They pay more for prescription drugs,
That's true.
internet, airline tickets, and health insurance. And we would also put on the end of that college.
Yeah.
Than any
college isn't like college probably should be like number 1 on that list.
Right.
You look at all of the industrialized countries that have colleges, we
Right.
are far and away the most expensive.
But what this all is combining into is the success. It's so much harder to be. You can be successful, but to pay for it all, and you have to be doing rather well to not be in a fucking sinkhole for all this shit. It's a lot.
I don't disagree. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, I don't disagree that companies have taken over a majority of our country. I mean, anybody that doesn't think that isn't fucking paying attention. But I think that there's a couple different elements of this that you need to look at. Part of it is that one of the things that makes them popular, any one of these companies that you're talking about is the consistency that they offer. You know what I mean? If you go to
Consistency, but not quality.
But what if it's both? Because there are
Not much.
But there are chains that definitely offer both. I mean, you know what you're getting when you go into an Applebee's and sit down, right? You're gonna get a decent meal. It's not gonna be the top of the food chain meal. It's not gonna be a $6 sack of heart attack, right? So
I'm not really talking about restaurants necessarily.
okay, then give me a for instance then, because I think that where mom and pop shops work are on the restaurant level.
More so.
Like stuff like that, like the hardware stores and the restaurants. I mean, what else? That's what
I'm
mom
kind of
and pop
saying.
shops?
Like you said, like hardware stores, for instance.
Right.
There used to be small town sports shops where you go in and get some cleats or a glove.
Yeah.
Those are gone. When I was a kid, we had Shmee Sports. I think it was.
Yeah. Well, that's because of the brick and mortar can't compete with online anymore. I mean, so that's an Amazon problem.
Yeah. I guess that's true. A lot. Some of this could be due to the internet.
I mean, a lot of it is due to the internet. I mean, when places like that, I mean, I agree. We went to Older Brothers. There was one in Worcester and there was one in Orville. I mean, I don't know how many times we went to one or the other. They didn't have what we wanted, but they called over the other store, so we had to make a trip to the other town. I mean, that was the 1980s and 90s when it came to sporting goods. I mean, you had to hunt for what you wanted and ask them to hold it and go pick it up. And I mean, it was.
I mean, when
a
you
different
first see
time.
these stores like a Dick's or whatever, you're like, oh my God, this is great. All this shit in one place. But then it's expensive.
But all the Dicks are closing. Are you noticing that?
Well,
There's a whole lot less Dick than there used to be.
Yeah,
They are. They're closing down left and right.
I guess where this whole this is like a 5 different tributary kind of conversation, right? Mm-hmm. Like the first one is
It's the whole fucking book.
it's like I don't understand why the country wants. I mean, I understand why it's happening. It's all about money, right? Everything's always about money.
Sure.
Dollar driven. I understand that, but did we learn anything from 2008?
No. Clearly, we haven't learned anything from 2008.
That's where I'm kind of going. That's where this whole topic is going on. Why do we want to fuck our middle class is what I'm really getting at. You think back then in 2008, well, obviously prior to that, all these loans going out that they just knew people were not going to be able to make these payments on,
Yeah.
but yet they did it anyways. There's so much shit like this now. Big corporate businesses don't really want to pay their lower end employees. I've seen this everywhere. I've seen this too close in some cases where if you don't pay your entry-level workers a competitive entry-level rate, you're not going to be able to keep your entry-level workers for a long time because they're going to go over to the Amazons or wherever else they can get this entry-level position without much more than a high school diploma. And it kind of makes me chuckle then when you see these other companies like, well, I don't know why we can't keep people.
I mean, we're talking about different things now. Like, what you're right. This conversation is definitely.
It's just all.
It's a whole
but
bunch of.
it's,
So
but
like,
it's the
okay,
same
so,
shit.
So the first. Hold on.
It's the same shit.
I gotta break a few things down. The middle class.
Yes.
Getting fucked. This is not convenient, and if you don't like this, I'm fucking sorry, but it's the truth. The reason that the middle class gets fucked is because the middle class lets it fucking happen. This is the group of people that put out the fucking lion's share of the fucking labor in this country, skilled or unskilled. You know what I mean? But they are not the type of people that want to be fucking CEOs and vice presidents and shit like that.
Well, they might want to, but they're not. They know they're never going to.
But they're not putting themselves on that kind of ambitious path. Let me say it that way.
Probably not.
But they want to earn a regular living and just take care of themselves and their family. You know, these kind of people would love to fucking leave work at work every fucking day. You know what I mean? To where they're a group of people that have found a level of contentment in life where they don't want to fucking deal with the fucking poverty-stricken bullshit, and they don't want to deal with the super fucking high-end of stuff, so they take it on the fucking chin when it comes to this shit.
Well, let me pause that statement, because you're absolutely right. There's a large group of people that would just love to literally go to a job, come home, and actually have enough money to pay for everything they need. Not over expenditure things, not boats and ATVs and motorcycles, but just the normal day-to-day shit. Now it takes 2 people to live comfortably.
Yeah.
Working. When I was a kid, probably you as well, you could actually have a stay-at-home mom. The dad would go work, and you would live. You weren't living high off the hog, but you were living very comfortably.
Sure.
My parents did that, and they saved a shit ton of money.
Sure.
And then when my mom finally did go back to work after I was in school, they saved even more. But you were able to do that. You can't. I'm in that situation right now.
Yeah.
And it's not my company's fault. It's what we chose to do. My wife's probably going to be going back to work here soon. But for those first 12 to 14 years that my kids needed a nurturing mother,
Sure.
It's very difficult.
I'm not going to argue that theory.
I've heard this on more than one occasion from different experts out there in the world that you should be able to survive on a family should be able to survive on one full-time job.
Okay.
You should be able to without worrying about money.
A family of 4?
A family.
I mean, it's relative.
I'm not talking about a guy that's popping out, knocking his wife up 17 times.
That's what. But I'm asking. Like,
okay, let's say the average family of
4.
3.5,
3 to 5.
whatever.
Okay. I'm just asking. Like,
I would say at least a family of 4 should be able to survive on a 40-hour-a-week paycheck. But you can't. You really, really can't.
You cannot.
But that's
the biggest problem with what you said at the beginning, which I think that we almost kind of glossed over here, is the fact that these fucking companies are charging us more for the exact same shit that they give to people in another country just because they know that people in the other country can't afford it on the same level. So it's all about getting the market share that goes with that. So if they can charge us $100 for internet, but at $100 it's going to price 70% of the population of another country out of their market. But if they charge 50, then fantastic. Everybody's going to pay it. That's the bullshit of it all. Is the fact that they are taking the wealth of the country and they're holding it against us.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is that everywhere you live, you don't have 5 different choices for your Wi-Fi. It'd be great if you did, but you don't. How many different companies can you use to bring Wi-Fi into your home right now?
About 3.
That's more than a lot of people. A lot of people have one.
Depending on where you live.
1 or 2 is like pretty standard in most places.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the other thing that's kind of fucked about the whole thing is, I mean, that's part of our deregulation laws. You know what I mean? That basically people can't have monopolies over it. But
They kind of do.
they totally do. And they don't fight each other on the areas, I feel like sometimes. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we can't compete with so-and-so over there. Well, then fuck that. We'll run our lines over here, and this is who will serve us over here.
I can't remember what it was, but I watched a show on Netflix, and it was either Dirty Money or Money. I can't remember, or something about money, obviously. And this guy was Bill Clinton's right-hand man, the treasury guy for Bill Clinton back in the day. Love him or hate him, whatever, I could care less. But this guy was very knowledgeable on what's going on in this country as far as corporate America and where all the money is. People want to know, where is the fucking money? You have these businesses where all these middle-class, blue-collar people are doing all this work. Why aren't they getting paid a decent wage that they can survive on? Because everything else is getting expensive.
Yeah.
And this guy said, for the most part, the money is going to the CEOs of these major conglomerates.
Sure.
And that's where it's going. And it blows my mind that I'm sure there's a few people in those positions. It's probably not only one guy every single time. There's probably a little bit of a trickle down. The top 5 of this company get paid really, really well. Whatever it is, I'm sure the guy on Super Top gets paid the best, obviously. But it just blows my mind that at some point, this structure is going to collapse.
Yeah. I mean, you would think so.
It will.
But we'll see.
And whatever that means could be that there's just, a bunch of people that are hovering at that middle class to poverty. They become homeless, and then they stop buying shit or they stop going to work. And then you realize probably if there was a movement, and you could do this now, well, maybe you could. They might shut you down, but you could probably organize, not whether you get people to actually do it or not, but you could probably organize people to stop going to work for a couple weeks, see what fucking happens.
I mean, you want to talk about something people would get behind. Not going to work.
Hey, I'm just saying.
But
if the middle class,
but the problem with that is if you do that, you're just going to get fired. There's no unionization anymore. There are companies, and I'll tell you what, the inconvenient truth right now that a lot of people aren't awake to, because all anybody hears is, oh, company X doesn't have enough employees. Company Y doesn't have enough employees. Company Z doesn't have enough employees. All of these companies are going through all of the motions. They're trying to use agencies and hiring fairs and sign-on bonuses and anything they can think of. That's what everybody sees. You know what they don't see? What everybody's actually been afraid of for the last 50 years that's coming to fruition right now is full automation. Because all of these companies have gone a year and a half now without having enough staff, and they're fucking sick and tired of it. To where, I'm telling you, over the next 3 to 5 years, along with hyperinflation, you're going to see a lot of these jobs start to go away. Because companies are actually investing in automation because they realize that the cost benefit is finally there. Beforehand, you could use an employee for 30, 40 years, put them out to pasture, and come out way further ahead than what you would have with maintenance and keeping up with an automation machine. Not anymore. When your lead times double and triple to where you're costing yourself tons of money on your EBITDA, you know what I mean? Your EBITDA, your overall revenue, I mean, any metric that you want to use, it makes a case for automation. And it's happening actively as we're sitting here.
I bet.
So it's going to get,
surprise me.
But it's going to get fucking scary because you know what happens at that point? We have hyperinflation. Everything's being automated to where jobs aren't available to pay for the hyperinflation. What does that lead directly to?
I don't know.
Universal basic income.
UBI. We did a show on it. Go back and look at it.
Which is socialism. That is the slippery slope that we're on. And people that want to sit there and say I'm a conspiracy theorist and blah, blah, blah. I'm not. Not at all. I'm looking at it from a purely economical point of view.
Yeah.
So fasten your seatbelts, bro. Shit's about to get weird.
Yeah. I have a couple things wrote down here that did you know that 50% of retired senators have become lobbyists?
Does that shock you?
No. But interesting. That's why nothing changes in Washington, because
They all fucking stay.
they all
Nobody
stay.
leaves.
They don't leave. They just now that they're old and rich, now they want to keep their money, and why not make some more money on top of the money? So let's go talk to this guy and we'll give him some cash and he'll do what we want. It almost makes you want to vomit at times.
Some weird shit going on.
Let's see, what else do I have here? No, I think I've pretty much covered it all.
Okay.
But just that whole point about remember 2008.
I do. I mean, we work for a company that super proud of, that especially back then, that there was still work to be had, but not as much work as in previous times. And whether you had to sweep floors, wash walls, whatever needed, paint something, whatever needed to be done, they said, hey, we can't guarantee you're 40, but we're going to keep you at 32 to make sure that everybody stays full time.
No,
and
I
they
do
did.
remember that.
And it's one of those things that, as much as there's times that we don't love every decision and every single thing that happens, like most employees don't, I will always remember that time that the company really came through for all of its employees. It didn't let anybody go. It didn't put anybody sort of out to pasture, and there were even people that, hey,
They could have.
But there were people that were like, hey, I'm sitting well enough that if you don't want to pay me for the next 6 weeks, I'll just take a 6-week hiatus and go home. I mean, there were several guys that did that, to where it helped out everybody else to make sure that the younger families got their stuff, to where, I don't know. I feel like those kind of relationships and those kind of caring from companies are going away too,
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you hear about talent acquisition all the time. That's what companies should be focused on, is talent acquisition. I'm seeing now more than ever that they might be trying to acquire talent, but what's being done to retain it? I would say little to nothing. I mean, at least from what we see and what we hear on a daily basis. Like there's such a focus on getting more people in that the concern about letting people go isn't there until they're on the verge of walking out the door.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean,
I don't want to say any names, throw anybody under the bus. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what it feels like sometimes, like,
Yeah.
just from people that we know, like the companies that they work for. Like, it's like a good friend of mine is changing jobs right now. And it's like he turned in his notice, and like 2 days before his notice was up, one of the bosses came down and offered him a bunch more money to stay. And he was like, I'm literally already filled out my paperwork. I'm supposed to start this other job on Monday. Like, if you wanted me to stay based on money, why didn't you come to me as soon as I put my 2 weeks in? And the guy straight up told him, like, well, we didn't know if you were going to pull your 2 weeks back and just stay or what. It's like,
we're not playing poker here, pal.
right. It's not hold 'em or fold 'em time. So,
Well, I mean,
so anyway, we'll see how it goes. But I will tell you what, if
so what did he do?
he left.
Yeah,
He
well,
absolutely left.
He should have at
Now-
that point.
Now, I will say this, that there are still some jobs that have a certain level of skill that has to be taken into account. There are certain jobs you can't just walk into off the street with any level of automation and make it work properly,
Right.
to where there's still going to be a home for those guys. So I hope that the companies that have people like that really understand the value of their techs when it comes to those kind of things.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, some things are, like you said,
yeah. So,
must be peopleized.
yeah. So I got one somber note that we're going to get through, and I just need you to raise your glass with me here real quick. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
Yes, it has.
I actually lost 2 uncles in 3 days. One was semi-expected. The other one was not really at all. It happened quick. The one was 59 and one was 63. So, I mean, not high up on the age scale, to where it was great to bring the family together. I mean, it was somber to say the least. But it's always nice to know that your family comes together, when things are hard.
Sure.
Special shout out to my Aunt Karen. She's a rock and a machine, like in a way that a lot of people will never know and will never see for what everything that she did behind the scenes. But she's been amazing since I was a kid. She's my rock and roll Aunt Karen that I talk about a lot on here. She's Harley Davidson riding, but she's also a nurse at the same time, to where she's pretty awesome. So just anybody in my family that listens to this, and if it's people that aren't part of my family, hey, I'll tell you, make sure that you reach out to the people that you love, because you never know when things can go sideways in a hurry, and we're getting to a point where things are opening back up. So, I know that we've all kind of fallen in our lanes, but take a minute for the people that are on the outside of the immediate circle but are still family, and just reach out to them.
So I got to ask, because you've talked about a uncle before.
Yeah.
That had cancer, and then it went into remission. Was this one of them?
He was the second one, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, things had gotten kind of bad, and they actually took him in for surgery, and they were able to bypass some of the cancer, and it sounded like, hey, like this is going to be the surgery that helps, basically him get stronger and have a couple years of like really high quality life left.
Right.
They gave him some morphine the day after the surgery, and for whatever reason, his body just did not react to that well at all, and within a couple of days, he was gone. So
From the morphine?
well, we don't know if that was the actually thing that killed him, or it just that's what sent his system kind of like into a shock to where he just quit responding all the way. So
That's
yeah,
too bad.
he was
Sorry
bad
about that, buddy.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
He was badass. He went out as a rock star. Like I've never heard of this before. One of his final wishes was to not have his obituary ran until after his funeral because he didn't want too many people showing up. Like, I think that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like he was a very soft spoken guy that you put a guitar in his hand and he could shred the living fuck right out of it. I mean, he was amazing to where it was a lot of good times down there as kids. I'll always be grateful for the time that I had with him. That's where 60's young, but 60 you still make an impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where it worked out okay. Just want to give a little shout out. I don't want to be make it a sad show or anything like that.
No.
And he wouldn't want that. To where I won't even drop your name because he would have not loved that. But so
No celebrity here.
no.
All right, so
Give me a lighter note.
yeah, what do I got here? I got to get some fucking glasses.
Free Britney.
Free Britney. No, don't free. My wife told me about free.
Oh,
Britney.
Free Britney's coming. You can get yours in next, but I'm just preambling. Free Britney is on the way tonight.
Dude, that is crazy.
Homegirl's making the show.
That is crazy.
Some bullshit.
Read or heard about that. Okay, so this isn't the song "Things That Make You Go." No, this isn't that. This is just
Okay.
So I was thinking about this
Oh,
as I ponder things throughout the day. At times, if I'm mentally capable,
All right.
and we all, well, I shouldn't say we all,
Wow.
but a lot of us make fun of trailer parks and their occupants at times. I mean,
Okay.
a lot of jokes there.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
If you were ever lived in a trailer park, I'm sorry, Jake, but
I've lived in a trailer. It wasn't in a park.
okay, but then you're not a trailer parker.
Nah.
But there's this trend in the last 5 to 8 years about tiny homes.
I would say the last 10 to 15, but yeah. Tiny houses.
Isn't a tiny home just a glorified mobile home?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
They're on wheels. They usually have a hitch. A lot of tiny homes are on wheels.
They don't have aluminum sheet metal siding. You don't
Okay.
trade out. You don't change
They
out the
look
girders. And the
different.
seats. Hey, I'm not. You're the one who fucking started it, so I'm just telling you, like,
And I'll be the one to finish it.
and
as
I
usual.
respect that. I'm just letting you know they are nowhere near the same thing structurally. Like they're not even close.
Okay, I'm not talking about necessarily the ambiance of the outside or what you've done with the inside. The tiny homes, they do get pretty what is it? Ingenuitive? Is that even a word?
Ingenuitive. I would have to say that's a word.
Okay. they do use some very neat and have some, they're space saving, right?
Yeah.
Every space is being used fully. I know in a trailer or a mobile home, that's not the case. They try to lay it out like a house for the most part. But you could easily tow your tiny home into a trailer park and probably fit in quite well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you could. Maybe you couldn't. But I feel like it's two different communities.
Oh, it is.
They are not the same people living in tiny homes that are living in trailer parks.
I know, but it's the same fucking concept.
No,
It's just
no, it's not. One is a minimalist concept.
Yes.
When you can live below your means. The other one is a means of getting by most of the time. Now, don't get me wrong. There are folks that love their trailer parks indelibly, and I am okay with that.
I don't know why.
I have lived in a trailer. I have partied my ass off in trailer parks. I mean, you want to talk about people that know how to fucking throw down? It's the trailer park folk. Now, they're also the nosiest fucking people on earth, so don't forget that. Like, if you fuck up at your trailer, they're going to call the fucking cops.
You know our intro to this show?
Yeah.
I think you just built another one.
Well, you're going to have to go back and listen to exactly what it was, because I'm sure it was all fucking genius.
Trailer park people know how to throw down.
Dude, trailer park people do know how to throw down, man. They'll fucking make hooch out of nothing.
Oh, my God.
So, I'm just saying, they're on a space level, I think is maybe what you're trying to say. I don't know. But, like, there's really nothing similar about them other than the fact that they're smaller than a house.
I said glorified.
But glorified what?
A glorified mobile home is what I said. I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on that.
No, because they're smaller than a mobile home.
Most of them, yeah.
Almost all of them.
I've seen some large, tiny homes for a tiny fucking home.
Well, I don't know what the exact number is, but there's a point where the number of square feet makes it a medium home instead of a tiny home.
I just watched a show where these kids are climbing up on their beds and they've got like 1.5 feet. I'm like, claustrophobia!
Right? Have you ever seen the MRI machines that are like that? Most MRI machines are tunnels.
Right.
Right? Now, may shock you, may not. I do not fit in said tunnel. I know. I was the same way the first time. Because they tried to put me in one. And I was like, unless you roll me up like a motherfucking burrito, like, there ain't no way we're pulling this off together, bro.
Do you have a tortilla shell I can lay in?
Right, please. Please. No, so they sent me down to another hospital, which is fun, you know. I was like, hey, I couldn't do the MRI up there, so they sent me down here. They're like, fatty on line 3, which I don't give a fuck, whatever. But it's like 2 pancakes that come down on you to where you're laying on one and the other one comes down like right there.
So, and you're not a claustrophobic kind of guy, are you?
I don't love caves. And like there's like in a moment in a movie of somebody's like crawling through a tight spot in a cave, like underground.
Like watching it, you get a little...
I'm like, all right, get through. Just get fucking through. Like,
I'm looking at my phone for the next 5 minutes, you fuckers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you know who Tim Kennedy is. He posted a video not too long ago. He's a ex-UFC fighter.
Jane Kennedy's son?
No,
okay.
That'd be weird. He's airborne. I mean, Tim Kennedy's badass all the way. But he posted a video of him going through like a super fucking tight spot, and I'm like, all right, next. So, sorry to bogart you there.
It's all right.
Taking it over.
So let's do the Free Britney.
Dude, Free Britney. Okay, so do you know anything about what's going on here?
I did just hear the other day. My wife's like reading Free Britney, Free Britney. She goes, holy shit. So she started reading that her dad is in control of all of her assets.
It's called a conservatorship.
Whatever it's fucking called.
I'm here to help.
He's in control.
Yep.
And she can't do shit. And I guess it was because of she was in trouble there for a little while. Like not in trouble, but like mentally in trouble. I'm assuming that's why he took control. Tell me more.
That's basically what they said, yes. But then I don't know if you saw the...
But she can't do shit now.
Like he
gives her an allowance. Now, I will say one thing before you explain everything. She wanted to get a lawyer to go against her dad to try to straighten some of this shit out. He said, no, that would be too expensive. Sorry.
I know.
Talk about suffocating in your own success.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, long story short, yes. I don't know if you remember the shaved head era.
Did she shave her head?
All the way.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, she shaved her head, and then while she had her head shaved, she attacked the paparazzi with an umbrella. So you can imagine what that looks like if you go back and look at those pictures.
Angry Sinead.
It looks like a crazy person. And that was when they pulled this shit. So, if you saw the interview with her, which a lot of you did, I'm not telling you anything you probably don't know already, but she basically was like, look, from that point on, they controlled every bit of her medication to where they had her on lithium, stuff like that you shouldn't be, somebody else that's not your doctor shouldn't be able to tell you that you have to take this. They would make her change, like in front of whoever was in the room. Her dad was in the room all the time, like forcing her to change, like straight up buck naked, citing that she might hurt herself. Right?
Weirdo.
How fucking creepy is that? to watch your own fucking daughter change? I mean, come on.
I mean, why not have a nurse or another female
an
in
assigned person to this situation? No. Well, that's where her dad's a control fucking freak.
I've paid for Nurse Betty, and Nurse Betty's going to watch you change. I'll be outside.
Yeah. So anyway, she goes through this whole thing. She has her hearing, and the fucking asshole piece of shit judge, I have no idea what his incentive is in this whole thing. He basically says, you know what? I hear you, but you haven't proven to me that you can be trusted to make sound financial decisions within a state like this. So, no, not yet. Well, what I think is fucking hilarious is the number of people that are backing her are basically all Republicans, which is great. Like, do you know who Rose McGowan is?
I think.
She was married to Marilyn Manson. She was on a show called Charmed.
Yeah. Okay, I know.
So she used to be outspoken.
Marilyn Manson.
She used to be outspoken Democrat all the way. She's seen the error of her ways, is what she says. This is not my words. Not my words. Her words. And she isn't saying that she's switching teams, but she's been making appearances on Fox News, that kind of stuff. She's trying to expose Hollywood for what she says it really is. So she's like taking up championing the fight. And there's a lot of people that are starting to champion her fight and all of this, to the extent that House of Representatives Rep. Matt Gaetz, who is definitely an up-and-comer in the Republican Party, like somebody that you're probably going to see on a presidential ticket at some point in time, he's actually invited her to testify before Congress on abuses of conservatorships. So basically
What
Congress...
is that?
What do you mean?
Abuses of conservatorships.
Like her dad.
Oh.
Like what you just said. Oh, you can't get a lawyer with your own money to fight me because I control your money.
That would be too expensive.
That's abusing the conservatorship. The conservatorship is like, hey, you're a fucking mess. Instead of letting you squander $300 million or whatever that number is, I'm going to take care of it until you get your shit together. That is the long and short of a conservatorship.
That is the long and short of it. And then now he's in control of when he thinks she's okay. Probably after he's got mansions and boats and cars.
Plus he gets to pay his own salary for managing it. Oh, it's a fucking mess, dude. So the fact that this judge did this is fucking horseshit.
She ain't gonna have nothing left.
Oh, bullshit. She'll fight. Dude, I'm telling you, this is one of those things that people aren't paying attention, that aren't part of the Free Britney movement. There's a lot of people that aren't really like paying close attention to this.
I'm not.
This thing is going to catch fire with the same generation that got fucking Biden elected. And they are going to ride this fucking thing until, like, I'm not joking. If you wanted me to put a bet right now on whether or not there will be a Free Britney fucking protest and people like looting and burning shit on fire in the name of Free Britney, I would fucking bet on it right now. Guaranteed it's happening. Wait for it.
Where?
Wherever her fucking dad lives.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, wait for it.
Orange County.
You fucking
beware.
You heard it here first. I'm just telling you, like, that's the direction that shit's going right now. So I hope that they fucking pull it. I hope that she goes and testifies, because she hasn't said whether or not she's going to. They have an open invitation for her to testify before Congress. I hope she does. I think that it would be good to get her message out there.
Rose or Brittany?
Brittany. Rose is just, she's championing it on like networks and stuff like that, doing interviews about like what's actually going on, what she knows about the situation. You know what I mean? Trying to make people more aware of it. That's what I mean by like championing the whole thing.
They're about to be BFFs, I think.
On some level, I would have to think that Brittany would at least be appreciative that somebody else is using their celebrity status to help her out a little bit.
Right. Amen.
Right.
Amen.
So that's Free Brittany right now. Can we do just don't?
Let's do just don't. Just don't.
Fucking release Bill Cosby! Are you fucking kidding me?
Are they releasing him?
No, dude, yesterday! Bill Cosby's a free man.
How did that happen?
Some asshole judge overturned.
I don't watch the news, by the way.
Some asshole,
you know that, and you know that, but you might not.
Some asshole judge overturned the entire thing. Literally walked out of court yesterday a free man.
How did just some judge overturned it?
The entire fucking thing. One judge.
I know what happened. Brittany's dad probably
that what happened?
Paid the judge off.
Dude.
He's like, hey, I got an extra $300,000. You want it? Yeah, free Bill Cosby.
I'm sorry.
Bill Cosby, wow.
As a father of daughters, any fucking guy that drugs women over a 30 fucking 50-year period, whatever the fuck it's been, gets away with it for that long, even though tons of people know that it's fucking happening. I mean, fuck every person that knew it was happening. But then once you finally get justice for those fucking people, for some butt-fuck judge to overturn that, I have no respect for that fucking person. Whatever fucking happens to them, they deserve the fucking karma in life. I'm sorry. There is no fucking way anybody with a sound fucking mind believes that this guy didn't fucking rape and fucking drug a ton of fucking women. So, fuck that piece of shit judge. I hope Bill Cosby's under fucking ground because somebody's going to clip that motherfucker if he's not. And he fucking deserves it.
Now, that makes me upset.
Worse than Free Britney?
Well, Free Britney, I don't feel bad for Britney. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel bad for her. But at the same time, it's bullshit that her dad's doing that to her. That's where I'm going to stop with that. Now, Bill Cosby, that's fucked up that they let him out.
Right.
But now, if I heard that guy, that coach from Michigan State that was the
the women's gymnastics coach?
Now, if I heard he got out, I would flip this fucking table over and walk the fuck out.
What about the coach from Penn State? Or
Sandusky?
Did he end up dying in prison? Or is he still alive?
Let's hope so.
I think he might have. Well, then there's a guy at Ohio State right now. Sorry, I'm not trying to fucking pick on your team, but they got a guy that's in deep shit down there too. Apparently been touching some players' butts and shit like that. Like
some guys' butts?
Like, yeah, like shower time. Like, shouldn't be around, you know?
Well, right, but aren't those players all like 18 and over?
I'm just telling you what's going on, dog. You don't have to yell at me about it.
I'm not saying that touching 18-year-old men's asses is okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not 12-year-old kids.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, if I was an 18-year-old man or a 19-year-old football player and some coach slapped me in the ass, I might turn around and fucking punch him.
You might, but that coach also controls what kind of shot you get at making it to the fucking next level and becoming an 8-year NFL pro and retiring or going and working in an office for 35 years. So
when did I didn't even hear this.
Yeah, I'd have to look his name up. He was one of the trainers down at Ohio State football.
Ugh,
yeah.
What's wrong with people?
Dealing with that pile of shit now. Yeah, so fuck Bill Cosby. That's all I got to say. I fucking hate that guy. And I don't use the word hate very fucking often. I mean, I really don't. Because to hate another person, I feel like is almost like them giving you a little bit of control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I fucking hate Bill Cosby. He's a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
So
Kmart sucks.
Kmart. So that's what. Do you have a just don't?
No.
I
didn't do any just don'ts this week.
There's got to be something that
this month
that you just don't want people to do. You just don't want somebody to do.
You know what? I will ponder that and bring it up later.
Okay. Next.
Now, some people, probably not a lot of people from our generation, are World War II buffs. I don't consider myself a World War II buff.
Yep.
But at the same time, I know a little bit of history about it.
Sure.
As probably you do.
I do.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
From any documentaries you may have watched or anything you remember from school, you don't hear much about China. Do you remember China's role in World War II?
I believe, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I will.
Didn't China supply Japan with a whole bunch of shit during World War II?
So that would be incorrect.
Okay. I'm asking. I didn't know.
No. I'm not here to roast you. Because
they weren't a major player.
They actually were very involved, but the problem was their technology and stuff was not as advanced enough to be a major player. Obviously, we know China has one of the largest populations in the freaking world.
Right.
I think they're number one.
But they also didn't have a dog in the fight with this, though.
Well, they did because they were in between all those fuckers. They were in between Japan and Russia. That kind of puts them in the middle.
Sort of.
Anyway. So China was actually an ally to the United States.
I would believe that.
Both of those countries tried to stay out of it. In the end, China lost like the number 3 amount of troops in the whole damn thing.
No.
They did.
How many?
It was like, I have to check the numbers because I was looking at a couple different.
Because I know that's one thing I know is I know the numbers off of that. So I'm pretty sure that.
I think China was third where I looked. It was a lot. It was like 12 million. It was a bunch.
I would have to see that. You know who number 1 was?
it was either I think it was Russia.
25 million.
Yeah,
And then I believe that Germany came in at 21.
right.
The United States was under $1 million.
No, they were. It was like 700,000 or 400,000. It was really low.
I think it was like 680.
Right. But China was, I swear, if they weren't third, they were fourth. They lost a shit ton.
Really?
Now, they don't get any credit in the war or much at all because they weren't a superpower.
Well, no, because it's always Germany and Italy against the United States, Russia, and Great Britain. And then we all say France together.
Right. Oui. But I just thought that was interesting. In all my recollection of anything I've ever watched or heard, you just don't hear about China much.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I think that's interesting. That's all. That was my interesting fact of the day. And it had to do about World War II.
Yeah.
And I know probably that's not a top priority on a lot of people's mind. But I saw it somewhere, and my son and I, he loves, he's 12, and he plays this game on the PS4.
Yeah.
It's called World of Warships, and there's battleships, cruisers, and destroyers from all the different countries.
Yeah.
And they're actually accurate
Yeah.
for the most part. Accurate depictions and models and all that stuff, but there is no China.
Yeah.
There is none. And we were talking about it, like, what happened to China? So we looked it up and found out a little bit of information, but I thought that was an interesting fact of the day.
That's a pretty good, interesting fact. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Do you have any interesting facts you want to throw out there?
I mean, I don't know. Pick a genre. I'll find something. I mean, I got more stupid, useless fucking knowledge in my brain. It's only good at like pub fucking trivia night.
How many times did they say fuck in one of our favorite movies, Pulp Fiction?
Oh, I have no idea. A lot.
It was a bunch. I think
Oh,
they broke
a
the
lot.
record at that time.
I
I
think
think the record's been broken since.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Pulp Fiction broke the record on how many times they said the word fuck.
Yeah. It'll never compare, though, with that episode of Deadwood where they said cocksucker 89 times in 58 minutes.
On purpose. I
mean,
assume.
I don't know. It was impressive, though. I mean, and like some of the conversations were funny because they would say cocksucker like 11 times in like a 1 minute span because they're like yelling at each other back and forth. You know, Kawu cocksucker, you cocksucker, cocksucker. Like, sorry, that was terrible Asian. I know, but Wu was a character in the movie, right?
All right. So I'm getting a little lean on stuff. I mean, we still have 13 minutes, so I could probably fill that. Do you have anything else?
I surely do.
Yes!
So the first one is, what do you think of Gwen Berry?
I don't know who she is.
She
I don't watch the news.
Motherfucker.
That's why I do the podcast, to hear my news.
She throws the hammer in U.S. track and field. You know what the hammer is?
Oh, my God. I actually have a side story for this. Go ahead.
It's a ball on the end of a chain
Right.
with a handle on it. You spin it around, you throw the fucker.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you don't fall over while you're doing that.
She plays third.
What's her name?
Gwen Berry.
Gwen Berry.
Yeah, or as I call her, Dingle.
Dingle Schwartz.
Dingleberry.
Dingle Berry.
She finished third in the trials, which means that she made the Olympic team as the third person. Because three people make the Olympics from the team.
Bravo.
No.
No?
No.
Bravo for Dingleberry?
She would not stand on the podium and turned her back.
Okay, I did see something on this. She turned sideways and they were all singing.
It wasn't sideways. It was straight up the other fucking direction.
Okay.
Head down and bitched about the national anthem. Said that
What country is she from?
the United fucking States.
Oh.
Yeah. She said that her problem isn't with the United States. She loves the United States. Her problem is with the national anthem.
Of the United States?
The national anthem is racist. It contained racism. It was written by a well-known racist, and Francis Scott Key, racist. Everything is racist. So, my question is, if you are not going to stand on the podium, hand on your heart in that moment, should you be representing the fucking country?
Probably not.
I mean, Congress is getting involved. And like people from Congress are like requesting that she be removed. The IOC has already come out and said, hey, we're not taking anything away from Gwen. Do what you want to during your own country's trials. Anyone that pulls that shit here will be automatically disqualified, stripped of their fucking medal.
Who said that?
The IOC, the International Olympic Committee.
Who would love it?
They're putting up with zero politics in this year's Olympics. If you do anything political, you can be removed from the Olympic team at any point in time.
Because, as the Harper fans out there know, that Jake and I don't enjoy politics being mixed with our fucking sports.
Because I can't mix my politics at work, those fuckers shouldn't be able to either.
You know what? Play your sport, run your track, shoot your ball, throw your ball, catch your ball, whatever you're going to do, run as fast as you can, and be proud of your fucking country.
Yeah.
And
when
if you aren't, you're in the wrong business. Go be a politician, Gwen Berry. You sound like a politician already. Gwen Berry, representative of Arizona.
Dingle.
Yeah, don't be in my sports.
Right. So that was one of them I had that was on there. Just super unimpressed with
That should have been in don't.
Well, sorry. I felt like just don't release Bill Cosby was a little bigger than.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like what Gwen Berry did. She didn't do what Bill Cosby did. I mean, there are people that would disagree with me on the severity of which.
Yeah.
But either way, like, I guess the whole fucking plea is this. Like, anybody that doesn't like the way I think, that's your opinion. There's a lot of people that I don't like the way they think, you know? But at the end of the day, I'm not calling for their extermination. I don't want their rights to be infringed upon. We're all fucking Americans. And at some point in time, we need a rallying point is the problem. This is the softest time in the softest country in the history of the fucking world. Mm-hmm. It's never been easier to live anywhere at any point in time. I mean, ask how many people haven't got off the fucking couch in the last year and a half. Where else they could have retained their home, retained their Wi-Fi, kept ordering fucking Grubhub to fucking deliver. Where else in the world could you have done that without fucking working at all?
Yeah.
Nowhere at any other fucking time in history.
Well, I think that's one of the things that used to make the country great was debating. Anyways, you were saying like, don't hate my opinion, don't hate who I don't like, and
right.
I mean, back in the day, that's what drove this country.
Yeah.
Jake has an opinion. I disagree. We're going to debate, and you know what? When we're done, neither one of us are still right. But there might be people in the room that agree with one more than the other, and then all of a sudden his idea takes off. Whatever.
Right. But people are so impassioned about it now, and they're so polarized with the entire situation that there is no room left for a differing opinion. And it's lines in the sand, and I don't know that it's ever going to change. Honestly. You know? I think we touched on this before. Did I ask you in the last show whether or not you think Trump should run?
You may have.
I don't remember. It's been a month.
But a lot of my opinions on that come from you. Because
fair enough.
Because how old will he be in 2024?
I think he's 75 now.
See,
so
I think that's too old.
That puts him at 78 to 82. I mean, non-drinker, non-smoker.
I know, but that's to me, Biden's too old. He's almost 80, right? I just think it's too old. Now, because you had mentioned...
He is our president, but have you seen The Whisper?
Huh?
Have you seen The Whisper yet?
The Whisper?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a weird press conference he did like in the last week, and instead of standing there presidentially, because that's one of my favorite things that people used to say about Trump is that he wasn't presidential enough. You know what I mean? He didn't act presidentially. You know, Biden, if this is the podium, he's clear down like this, and he starts whispering. And he goes, I got them 1.9 trillion in relief. And people are like, what the fuck is going on right here? And like
I'll have to look it up.
This went on for a few minutes, and it was like even people on the Democratic side of the aisle were like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you watch this, I implore anybody that's trying to defend this out loud or in their own brain listening to me right now, try to imagine Obama doing this and then get back to me, because never would have fucking happened. It's the weirdest shit ever. I mean, I think that we're literally bordering on elder abuse. I don't want Kamala Harris and fucking, who's the chick that fucking, what's her name? Nancy. Because Nancy's the replacement, dog. If he goes, Kamala bumps up and Nancy fucking slides in. I don't want that ticket, but I feel like we're bordering on the fucking verge of elder abuse with Joe at this point.
Well, and that in turn, I don't think Trump should run again. But you had mentioned that possibly his daughter, his son, who knows, whatever.
So that's my question is, do you have, I wish that you would get into this a little bit, I mean, just a smidgen more. Like, do you have like a dream ticket? Like, this is who I wish they would put out there in the next run.
I don't have a dream ticket, and I don't want to be ever on jury duty again.
You know, if you're going to fucking bring that up, my mom just got called for jury duty. I was like, God damn it, come on. Like, my mom literally was like, oh, I got to go to jury duty. I'm like, please, for the love of God, can I please get summoned to fucking jury duty? I feel like I'm going to be that person that never gets it in their whole life. I'm that 1 in 1,000 that wants it.
All right, so I'm going to actually change my last topic here real quick.
Go ahead. I got one thing to wrap up and then I'm done.
You go ahead.
Okay, this is
Wrap it up.
Okay, just a quick story. We talk about restaurants a lot in here, right? Don't fuck with people that make your food.
Yeah, well,
Right?
that's your motto, yes.
Well,
You're also early is 10 or on time is 10 minutes early. On time is late, and anything after that's unacceptable.
that's true. Good job. Well, I try to be understanding with anybody making my food, especially right now when we know that there's labor shortages. I won't lay out the names or anything like that to protect the innocent, but I went to a restaurant this past weekend with my family up in Michigan, by the way, so take that as you want. And they told us before we were seated that they typically run with a staff of 16 and that they had 7 people. Hey, I'm actually was grateful. I'm glad to know that going in, right? To where it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Thanks for telling us.
you're going to be slow. Expected, right? You got 5 in the front of the house, 2 cooking. I get it. Well, when they took our drink order,
2 hours later.
it's not even like that. It's not like that wasn't even the problem. Like the 2 cooks were badasses. I was watching them the whole time, slinging fucking food. Those 2 cooks deserve $30 an hour instantaneously. But my brother looked at the whole line of pastries. He said, hey, I would like to get a cinnamon roll. She said, okay. So she took everybody's drink order. She comes back with the coffee, waters, orange juices, whatever the world. And that was it. And about 5 minutes later, we see another waitress go up there and she pulls the last 2 cinnamon rolls off of the tray and starts walking them to a table. And my brother sees this happening. He says, hey, one of those for me? And she says, no, there's a table over here that there are 2 people that just ordered cinnamon rolls. He said, I ordered mine like 10 minutes ago. Like I've been waiting for mine and it didn't come over. Well, our waitress then comes over and joins the fight. And she goes, oh, I forgot to put that in. And Josh was like, well, that's okay. I put mine in first. Like, that was like 10 minutes ago. So just go ahead and give me my cinnamon roll. And
Here we go.
the other waitress goes, yeah, that order wasn't in. I have no idea if you asked for a cinnamon roll. I know that I have 2 people waiting for cinnamon rolls, so I'm going to take these over there. To where you could tell.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, but she also was working with a short staff. I mean, in my brain, I'm sitting here I'm obviously not talking at this point. And I'm like, all right.
You're thinking, though. You're
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Ding, dong, ding, ding, ding,
I mean,
dong,
I got-
dong, ding, dong.
I got bourbon and serotonin just running through my brain at this time of day. You know what I mean? Like from the night
if
night
he's
before.
not pissed, I'm getting there.
Oh, no, but at the same time, I'm like, she's had enough of everybody's shit today. She's been doing this for like 6 hours already. She's going to murder everybody if you try to take that cinnamon roll from her. So we actually come to find out pretty quick our waitress was fucking terrible.
Obviously.
Like, she was really, really fucking bad. They fucked up our meals all across the fucking board to where we basically hodgepodged meals together to try to make each other happy and blah, blah,
hate
blah,
that.
whatever else.
Hate it.
The best part of the whole fucking thing, though, that I left out at the beginning intentionally, is when Josh ordered the cinnamon roll, he first asked for a cherry turnover that apparently they're known for. And our waitress said, we just sold the last cherry turnover. Well, the manager comes by at the end of the whole thing, and Josh flags her down and says, hey, I just don't think this was right, explains the situation to her. And she goes, can I get you anything? And he's like, well, I don't know. Like, I wanted a couple of cherry turnovers. And she's like, we have a half a tray of cherry turnovers up here. He says, really? She said, yeah, I'll get you 3 to go. So the whole fucking thing could have been avoided if the waitress girl would have even gone and looked to see if they had a fucking cherry turnover. So
Don't be a douchebag server.
yeah, so $85 as a table later, we walked outside and we're glad to be free of that. So I hope that they got through their day okay. I hope they find some more staff, but they were kind of it was a lot to say the least.
All right, so my next topic is going to be a to be continued investigation. I-Team. Who used to do the I-Team investigation? Carl Monday?
Carl Monday and Fred. I want to say Fred Savage, but that's not right because Fred Savage is from the Wonder Years, but it's Fred
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, listen to this shit.
Okay.
So, I went over to my dad and my dad's house, and him and his wife, they've been married for a little while.
Right.
They're both in their 80s. They're in their elderly stage. My dad is suffering from early stages of dementia. It's not super bad. In my opinion, it's not super bad as far as he knows who I am.
Yeah.
We have conversations. He just says I can't remember shit all the time.
Sure.
And he repeats questions a lot. Obviously. Well, his wife, who we love and adore, is really, really worried about him, but she's 2 years older than him, and she's getting bad. So I'm going to have to contact part of the family and get something going on about assisted living. It's just getting to that time.
Sure.
Probably this year sometime. So that's going to be great. But anyways, that's not my story. So I'm over there visiting for Father's Day,
Yeah.
and she says, "Hey," or one of them says, "Hey, I need you to come look at something." The faucet in the one bath, they got 2 bathrooms upstairs. The one faucet, there's no hot water. And I said, "Oh, it's probably just, I'm not sure how this got turned off, but so I turned it the one way, still no. Turned it the other way, still no." I'm like, well, maybe there's a shutoff valve downstairs. So I go and look, and I'm down there, and I can't find anything. I'm following the pipes. I can't find anything. And so I come back upstairs, and I'm like, I'm an IT guy. What changed, right? Tell me what changed. She goes, "Oh, well, we had a company come out and redo our shower in the other bathroom." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Now we're starting to get the information." So I go and look in there, and I'm looking around. I still can't find anything. I said, "Well, I can't find where they shut this off. So you're going to have them come back out and look."
Right.
Because they did something to work on that shower. So they show me what they had done. It is a stand-up shower.
Okay.
They had bath fitters do this.
Okay. Reputable company.
But I know nothing about them. I've heard of them, but I know nothing. This is probably what would you think a average stand-up is, like a 3.5 or 3 by 3 by 3, something like that? 3.5 by 3.
Probably a little bigger than that. I would say a 4 by 4 by whatever your ceiling height is.
Well, I don't think this was 4 by 4, but let's say it's in between 4 and 3.
Okay.
3.5. It's not real big.
No?
I have no idea. I know bath fitters make custom things that fit your space.
Okay.
They probably come out and measure. They must have something that they can make molds with. Whatever the fucking case is, I don't care.
Whatever.
What do you think? Because this is my investigation part. I have not called them yet, and I'm going to. What do you think a ballpark stand-up shower replacement would cost?
I don't know what all they actually did, but I would guess that just from conversations that we've had, probably $5,000-6,000.
Why $5,000?
That's my guess from conversations. I mean, I don't know. From talking to the people at Lowe's when it comes to actually tearing the other shit out, getting the subflooring like re-put in and shit, because typically they want to replace that underneath of a tub. You have to rerun lines.
Maybe I'm smoking dope then, because that's what their bill was, $5,000.
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
not crazy anymore, dude. But because they charge so much for fucking labor.
Wow. Well, then maybe there's no investigation to be had, because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? $5,000 for a fucking stand-up. Now I can almost see if it's a gigantic tub that you're fitting this over a tub and a shower, and you've got 6 feet worth of work.
That's about right, dude.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that.
To be continued.
A
I don't know.
stand-up shower,
Yeah.
$5,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
This world is fucked. That goes back to corporate fucking America. That should not be $5,000. Am I wrong? That should not be fucking $5,000.
It shouldn't, but the thing about it is the techs that are putting that in now are making $50,000-$60,000 a piece. The van that they're driving costs fucking 60 grand. I mean, like, this is the things like that go into all of this now. You know, the lifetime of those vans ain't 13,
Guess
14
what?
years like it
Guess
used
what
to be.
I'm doing?
They're amortizing over 5
I'm
and 6.
going to apply for bath fitters. Holy shit.
Right? Did you want to talk about, I mean, in the same vein?
How much you think a tub is? 10 grand?
Dude, you know what 2 men in a fucking truck cost you for one day?
No.
It's like $2,500 to have 2 dudes pick up your shit, throw it in a fucking truck, drive it to a house and throw it in there.
That's worth it. Lifting your shit all day, I'd pay that. But
I'm just fucking saying.
to sit in a small corner of somebody's house, and I don't know how long it took them, but come on.
I'm just saying, man.
5 fucking grand.
I mean, they got to tear everything out and rerun the fucking lines and make sure it all lines up and make sure it's all dry.
It goes back to kind of my leading in story about corporate America and how the mom and pop shops. We had a guy that come out and work on our refrigerator. His name was, I want to say Lenny or something, some old guy. You don't get guys like this. He had run his own business, come out there, charged you $70 to fix your fucking fridge. If Best Buy would have come out, it would have been $250.
Hey, man, my plumber is $115 an hour, but he's way cheaper than fucking anybody else.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't have to use a plumber very often, but for the few things that I can't, like, I don't solder. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to that shit.
You had talked about elder abuse and what we thought had happened.
They took advantage of 'em?
My wife and I, they, thinking about this, like, they probably asked the question 2 or 3 times, and they were like, yeah, it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah. No.
Well,
I'm sorry to
now that's
to not give you a soapbox to stand on.
I guess it's a little bit better knowing they didn't get taken advantage of, even though in my mind they still got fucking taken advantage of.
I don't.
That's ridiculous. $5,000 for a shower. I don't care how much it costs.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Sure.
But so you know what? I am going to throw the last one in. We're at 1 hour and 6 minutes. Not too bad.
We can go a few minutes over.
So it seems like I've been to this Taco Bell in Barberton about 3 times in the last 3 months. Not real often.
Yeah.
But every time I go, something weird happens. Like in a good way.
Yeah.
Like you talk to somebody that's just like, wow, that was like really refreshing. So strange. It's like I'm going into like this Bermuda Triangle of kindness or something.
And fast food.
So I pull in this one evening, and of course when I got home I had to tell my family this quick story. And she's just a little girl, and she's working in there, and she's taking my order, takes my money, and she's waiting a few minutes to give me my food.
Okay.
And or not even a few minutes, just, a minute and a half, whatever it was. But in that minute and a half, she said something to me. And she says, she goes, why do we have to work? Or why do we have to have jobs or something like that? She goes, well, I guess that's dumb. She goes, we got to buy stuff. And she goes, I got this job. Don't really like it all that much, but got to pay for stuff. And, she's just kind of like talking to herself out loud, like beside me. And I'm starting to laugh. And then she goes, why can't we just skip a few parts and just end up in Hawaii? and that made me, the people inside probably heard me laughing.
Belly roll.
Yeah. And I'm just like, why can't we skip a few parts and just end up in Hawaii?
Yeah.
I don't think that was an invite, but I was just like, you know what? God damn it. Amen.
Yeah. But then I see the other side.
What's that?
In order to get to fucking Hawaii, you don't get to skip a couple fucking parts.
Yeah, you don't get to skip any parts. You got to work hard.
You got to go through the fucking shit.
The
real question is, we have friends of ours that I should say they're like the online friends, the people that you used to know in a past version of your life that you still follow what they do on social media.
Because we're all nosy fuckers.
Friends of ours that are our age, so young 40s, posted that they just made their 40th trip to Disney. I was like, how the fuck is that even possible? Like, I mean, we joke about it, but we do the math. I'm like, I couldn't take that much out of my life twice a year to go. Because, I mean, that's what it's basically averaging. It's twice a year since they've been like
that's
20.
That's a lot.
That's fucking crazy.
Now, it depends if they're going extravagant. You can do a, air quotes, cheaper Disney experience.
Show me. You show me the cheap Disney experience over 5 days.
We did it. Now, it wasn't. We still paid $5,000.
There you go, brah. And like that, but you were probably like, I know you. Like that's the smartest, most economical way of doing anything.
Oh yeah, I had like meals planned out and all this shit. Like you actually have to go plan them out anyways.
That's what I'm saying. But that wasn't the, hey, Disney, send me the package. I'll send you the money.
No.
Make it easy on me. Because that's going to be at least double.
No, yeah, we stayed at the Econo, not lodge, but what would it have been like?
Was it called like the Magic Flingdom or something like that?
No, it was literally the economy, and it was so much. It was so funny because, my wife, she enjoys not really the finer things, just the average normal shit, right?
Right.
So we got up, we long day of drive, and we get there. We spent half a day at Disney. We get back to the hotel. We're all just beat,
Destroyed.
and so. We wake up in the morning, everybody's all refreshed. She gets up, she's starting to mill around this tiny little fucking bedroom hotel.
Hotel room?
Yeah. It's very.
You were going to say apartment.
I was going to say apartment. This hotel. And she's like, she pretty much is like, what the fuck? Where's the coffee pot? She needs
Nothing.
coffee.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking around. She's looking all over the place. I'm like, well, if there's one thing my wife needs in this world,
It's coffee.
it's coffee in the morning. So I fucking dial 0. Hello? Yes. Something must be wrong. Something must be wrong here. We don't have coffee. She starts laughing. She goes, you got to go down to the concierge, and that's where you get it. The coffee's free,
Yeah.
but you got to walk a little ways. I'm like, oh God, this is.
Oh, yeah. You knew you were getting up then.
This isn't going over well.
Yeah.
Hang up.
There's no handing that one off.
So she said, we got to walk. She goes, are you fucking kidding me? We got to walk? I said, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
So I go get the 2 cups. But guess what? That ended up being her favorite thing the rest of the trip. I get to go get my coffee, walk back, because there's pools and stuff in between.
Oh, yeah.
I can see people swimming. There's families everywhere. I can smoke my cigarettes, too, because I'm already outside.
Right? People watching.
So she ended up loving going to get the coffee in the morning. That ended up being more fun, so.
Well, hey.
Whatever.
Here's to the Econo trip. Apparently, I haven't found that one yet, but I'll have to start looking.
Oh, it's econo, but it's not cheap.
There's nothing cheap about getting in there.
No.
When it costs an extra $75 a day to go from one park to another.
Oh,
Right?
fuck me in the goat ass. It's that time, ladies
All right.
and gentlemen. Hit it.
I'm going to hit it one time. No, I'm actually going to tell you that we haven't got the message out in a while, but always important to us is mental health.
Yes.
If you are struggling with anything and you just can't fight it anymore on your own, please go ahead and reach out. The number is 1-800-662-4357. Somebody on the other end of the line will be there to help you out.
Yes, so if you're fighting with kicking that substance abuse habit, what's my line here?
Having bad thoughts.
You're having bad thoughts
about hurting yourself or somebody else.
about hurting yourself or others, please call the number. Somebody else will be there to help you. It's not a laughing matter, seriously.
Hey,
Call the number.
thanks for joining us. Hopefully we talk to you again real soon. Pip, pip. Cheerio!
Woo! Cancel my subscription.
Right? Eagle rare for goddamn sure.
Boom. I only had that much.